so we don't have crinkles while I'm talking. Today's video is going to be a crunch time video. So lately I've noticed that I basically live in goblin mode, and I want to put a little effort to changing that. So I have a whole list where I'm gonna put effort into trying to make those in the time that I have for today. So hopefully I'll be able to go through that whole list and not have any issues. The first thing that I want to make is a dress. It's a little bit longer than the dress that I'm mocking it up from, and instead of the skirt base that they have for it, I'm gonna try and use a 3/4 skirt, circle skirt. It might be loud. For it instead, so hopefully it's a little bit easier for me. The other thing that I'm gonna try and make is the apron. I'm gonna try and use just basic square and then again that 3 circle skirt, but I think I'm gonna only use 2 panels instead of the full 3. So like half circle, but with the 3 circles for measurements. And then I'm gonna do a full circle skirt that's actual full length, full circle skirt. And then after all of those are done, I'm gonna make a top, like a tank top, but it latches in the back. I saw a picture of it online that I want to try and replicate, so I'll be trying to do a basic mock-up of that using the strappy bits from the dress and just a basic connector piece that'll go all the way around. I don't know how it's gonna work, but that's what you get for working off the dome. We have from now until 2 a.m. to work on this. I'm going to be trying to use all of these pieces in an upcoming trip, so I want to make sure that I have all of them at least mostly done before that. So good luck to me, good luck to us, and if I fudged anything up, let me know in the comments. So the fabrics that I'm going to use for the circle skirt is this nice thrifted bed sheet. It is super cute, already hemmed because it's a bed sheet, and it is a king or queen size bed sheet. So I've got a lot of fabric here, a lot of yardage, and it was $2, really cheap. I also have these pillowcases for it. I don't know if I'm going to use them. I might use them for the straps or something, but for right now, they're just going to be question marks. We're also going to be using the bed sheet from a couple videos back. I'm going to use this, I think, for the either the apron or the dress. TBD. Mainly because I wouldn't need to use a lining if I did this with the dress, but the other fabric that I have in mind I probably will need to use a lining for, just because of how see-through it is, whereas this, it's way sturdy. I think it would be better for the apron just because it is that tougher material versus the other one. It's a little bit more delicate and cutesy. So I don't know, but I think for right now, either is a good option. I also already cut into this, so I don't know how much yardage I'll be able to use for all of the things, and if I use it for the apron, then it's a little bit easier. Cool. This is the alternative for the dress. It's a very cute, again, thrifted bed sheet. It's the only downside is it's super see-through. Like, you can very clearly see that it is just barely there. So I'll have to be very careful with all of the hemming and everything, because I have two suspicions. One, that even double lining this with itself, it will see all of the patterns underneath it because it's such a busy pattern, so I won't be able to do it like that either. And two, if I were to cut into this, I have a very big suspicion that this is going to fray a lot, which isn't a bad thing, it's just tedious. And I don't know how up for tediousness I'm going to be. So that's the other option for the dress. I don't think I would use that for the apron just because it's a really cute fabric and I would prefer to use it for the dress instead. The tank tops, I want to make, I think, 2 of them just because I have really cute materials for it, and I think sizing wise it should work out with the yardage that I have for both of the fabrics. Let's get to cutting out some fabric. I changed my mind. I'm gonna make this a tank top too, but I think I'm gonna leave them separate pieces just in case. All right, all of the pieces for the skirt and top are cut out. Hodgepodge a little bit. I'm not sure how the tank top's gonna come out just because lining pieces, but I think it's gonna be really cute. So I'm going to I'm gonna sew all of this together right now, and then I'm gonna move to the next project, okay? the time now is about 6 o'clock. I am finishing up the hem of the skirt, and I am working on the waistband of the skirt, and then the skirt is all done. I'm hoping that I have enough of the trimming from the original bedsheet to do both, but I don't know. We will get there when we get there. I'm also trying to utilize a straight stitch more, just because usually it's not my go-to stitch, and I will use a zigzag stitch for literally everything. But what I've noticed is that a lot of the clothes that I look into only use the zigzag stitch for like closing their seams. If it's not an overlocker or a fancy stitch, like a straight stitch that's like you would see in jeans, where it's a straight stitch but it's lingering, not lingering, it's layering piece over piece. So I don't know. The hope is that I don't have to worry about it too much. And if I don't have enough of the pre-trimmed fabric, then I may just do a rolled hem and use an elastic, roll the hem, and go like that instead of gathering it like how I would originally intend. I don't know. I've never done this before, so hopefully everything turns out perfect. But doubts, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to do tonight. It may turn into a larger project, which is fine. It's 8:30, and in all the time that I've owned this machine, I just snapped my very first needle. So minor pause, no sewing production right now as I swap this out. I finished the skirt. I did an elastic waistband and rolled the hem on that. I think I'm going to either in the future add some snaps to it. That way it is a little bit more tight, a little tighter, just because at the moment the skirt is so heavy that it weighs down. But I may also swap it out, take off the waistband that I have right now, because it's accommodating enough to where I can just take off the waistband and then sew on a new waistband for it in the gathering sense of it, and then that should be fine as well. I moved to doing the top, and I have the top portions of it done, and now I am adhering the top portions to the waistband for that, and then that is also done. And I don't need to add any hem work onto it because the bottom hem that I'm using for it is already a rolled hem from the fabric that was already existing on there. So I'm gonna fix the needle and then get back to it. New needle is on. It is 7 minutes later, and I discovered that the reason why it broke was because I was going over one of my pins. Yay, avoidable issue. Stupid, whatever. Alright, back to work. Alright, the skirt, it is 10 o'clock. The skirt is done. I'm so happy with it. It looks so cute. I genuinely am pleased to the point to where if this is the only thing that I walk away from that is stellar, I'm pretty okay with that because this is so cute. I cannot wait to wear this. I may even wear it as soon as possible because it's so cute. Basic full circle skirt. I don't know why it took so long for me to make, but it's my first time making it, so leniency with that. I redid the waistband on it because I just felt that the waistband as it was just gonna drag the skirt down so much. So I don't fully mind that this waistband is a round 2 do-over for it. And the other thing of note is I just did a zigzag stitch for the bottom of the hem, and I genuinely don't think that I care enough about it to do anything more than that. I might later, like eons later, go in with this go in with some bias tape or something like that to make it a nice finished edge. But for right now, this is really good and I'm really okay with it. Plus it's a full length skirt. Like I did this at 42 inches length so that I could have like a very, very full skirt, very long skirt, and it is quite nice. So you'll see it a little bit later, but on to the next thing. All right, so all of our pattern pieces for our flower skirt dress, flower dress, are cut out. And now I am going to sew all of the lining pieces to the regular pieces, flip those inside out, sew all of those pieces to each other, and then sew up the final pieces. And hopefully I will have a dress. Good luck to me. First, I'm going to change out my thread. Alright, minor pause here. I just re-threaded my bobbin, so I refilled it. Now I'm going back to work on my tops. Playing with pattern pieces. Pets. I sewed on the darts. First step, yay me, woohoo. Now I am sewing them together, flipping them in right side out, and then I'm also adding a favorite toy. A top stitch on top of everything so that it is nice and smooth versus without the top stitch. I know that I can iron it flat. I don't want to. End of story. Okay, back to sewing. Alright, it is 2 o'clock. I finished the skirt. I did the majority of the first top, the top for that skirt. I don't like the top of that skirt, so I have to unpick that and then redo the darts on that and add the top pieces back together, and then that's done. The dress, the flower dress, is 85-95% done. I just need to sew the top to the skirt on the bottom, and then that's done. I think that I might add a button onto the back, but I don't know. I really want to use my buttons, so I'm trying to incorporate them in the things that I make. That means the next sewing projects that I have for this video will be the apron and the shirts, as well as finishing the unpicking and sewing back together and sewing together from tonight. So that's it for tonight. I'm gonna make dinner and see y'all next time.